What's up, nerds? So, I finished the season finale of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and I just want to say that I'm going to upset a bunch of you because this finale was just so meh. It's like ridiculous. It was so mid. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've upset some of you already. It's so crazy because the book, there's two things they could have done to like amp up this episode to make it better, and they didn't. They didn't. They cut they cut it short. So I was like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. But I mean, yeah. All right, I'll talk about it at the end with my review of this episode. But let me get into the breakdown of it, and you'll hear my thoughts there and then at the end. All right, here we go. In a flashback, Percy and Luke practice sparring. Okay, so I liked this sparring with Luke. I felt it kind of, made us, their relationship come together a little bit more, which I felt like has been a little bit faltering in this season. I didn't get the connections that you get from the book. I understand it, it's a television show, so they don't have the time or whatnot, but it didn't feel it doesn't feel like any of these people are friends. So this was kind of nice, but at the same time, his whole the gods need us just as much as we need them kind of thing. I was like, okay, whatever. In the present, Percy challenges Aries to a fight with the first to draw blood, winning both the bolt and the helm. So again, this part was good. When he was all like, you're gonna give me the helmet, and if I take blood, and then Aries is all like, ha ha ha, and everything. But I still don't think that this wrestler guy is the best actor, in my opinion. After summoning a wave, Percy slashes Aries and then returns the helm to Electo. Okay, so he wins the battle with Aries and he leaves the helmet. Okay, now the helmet I thought looked pretty cool. I kind of liked the helmet or whatnot. Or the helm and everything. But I just want to say, Aries, so he goes into his long spiel, and I'll mention this later on, but he goes into his long spiel about how we don't dream and everything, and instead of making it more like Aries was manipulated and almost, hypnotized to do whatever Kronos wanted, they made it seem like Aries was turning on Zeus and following Kronos. And I didn't care for that. Plus, it would have been nice if they explained it like they did in the book, how he was all like, you were supposed to die in the underworld, so that way Poseidon was mad at Hades, and then Hades, Hades, you, and it's a three-way brother brawl, and then Percy's all like, well, he's like, you don't want family, their family, and he's like, that's the best and the bloodiest fights and everything, or wars and everything. I felt like that would have been better of an explanation, and then just like explaining how he's like, you're not the one pulling the strings here, and he's like, nobody tells the god of war how to start a fight, kind of thing. I felt like that would have been better than what they did here. I just feel like the writing here was just less than the book, and they tried to talk about how they're trying to elevate the story and make it more modern, but I'm all like, yeah, but you're neglecting things that would make it better. So I felt like that was just not this was not first off, the little speech wasn't that great, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And the fight was good, but the fight was short. I was all like, man, I wish this would have been a little bit longer, and cooler. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't that cool. Like, I was like, oh, all right, whatever. Again, with this fight in the book with Aries, I did feel like they could have, like, there's a boar in there that attacks him and he like slices off his horns and everything. Add that, way cooler, and I felt like this fight sequence could have been like a minute longer and just, again, way cooler, way more action packed, way more, cinematic. But no, they really just went for the bare minimum here. And that's the way I feel about this entire episode. And then with the Electo stuff, I kind of would have liked it also, again, if they had done it more like the book, because in the book, they're showed up, they've got their wings and the gnarly fangs and everything. And I get it, because it would have cost more money, but I'm just all like, yo, it's the season finale. Shell out a couple more dollars, Disney, to make it really cool and everything. And I would have been nice to have all three, sisters there and everything, but it was fine. It was just less than, in my opinion. Percy travels to Olympus atop the Empire State Building and returns the bolt to Zeus, who nevertheless plans to continue the war. I'll talk about the acting later on, but Zeus, and I mentioned in my one of my trailer reactions, I believe it was for the first teaser or whatever, how I wish that Zeus was wearing like more like Greek robes and everything, but in the book he does wear a pinstripe suit, so they did keep that. I didn't think that this interaction was all that great. It was very much like I wish they had again. I wish they had Poseidon in there, and he comes in and greets Poseidon first, and then Zeus is all like, "You greet your father first instead of greeting the men of the house or whatever." I can't remember the exact words, and then Poseidon is all like, "He greets his father" and everything. I don't know why I'm saying it in these voices, but I just felt like this was just again very much like, and then he's like, I liked how when he goes into Olympus, how they describe it, and there's like nymphs throwing him olives, if I remember correctly, and then there's like some lesser gods and goddesses in there, and they just show off the world. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, seeing Mount Olympus was cool with the city and everything, but it was just very much like and you're just like, okay, I guess that's fine. When Zeus is about to strike Percy, Poseidon surrenders, and the two agree to inform the council of the threat of Kronos. So again, maybe I'm wrong because I don't remember exactly, but I don't remember them failing in the book their mission. I remember them getting there right on time, and it stops the war. So I mean, this whole I surrender and everything, I'm all like, okay. And again, I just don't understand how, any of this, like I just don't see how Percy could have deduced that it was Kronos. We got barely any like signs of it throughout the entire thing. And I mean, granted, we got the dream sequences, which I'll talk about later, but I just like, I'm just like, whatever about it. It was just so, yeah. After Poseidon sends him back to Camp Half-Blood, Percy receives a hero's welcome. Again, the interaction with Percy and Poseidon, I just felt was so lackluster. Again, so lackluster because I felt like I was expecting more of an interaction, more of a like in the book, I believe he says something like Zeus says, like, you weren't supposed to father this child. And he's like, I know, I've admitted my mistakes. And then Percy's all like, your mistakes? And I wish there was more of that kind of thing. Like Poseidon's all like, I wasn't supposed to do this. I broke the rules and everything. But I did like when he said, do you dream? And he's like, yeah, we dream. And he's like, do you ever dream of my mother? And he got that look on his face. I was like, good for you. I can tell that you're like, yeah, I dream of your mom. I dream of her. Yeah. While alone with Luke, Percy accuses him of being the thief, since Luke gave him the cursed shoes. So this part of the episode was the most disappointing part of this episode. And the reason is because I really was hoping for this. I was hoping to see the betrayal on Percy's face. I was hoping to see more menace in Luke. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk about the acting in here during my review. And I do think that the actor that plays Luke is very good. But I was expecting more of like a menacing Luke and just being all like, yeah, it was me. I'm the lightning thief. And I also was looking forward to the scorpion, because if you remember correctly, he hits him with a scorpion in the book. He hits Percy with a scorpion and poisons him. And then, he fights him. And I was just looking forward to that more. I was looking forward to this. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fight sequence was good. But again, like the fight sequence with Aries and the fight sequence here could have been way cooler. And I wish they would have done more. I wish this would have been a good 3-minute fight sequence where just showcasing, their fighting skills, especially Luke. And it just was again, very lackluster. Like I was just like, wah, wah, wah. After failing to recruit Percy, Luke subdues him in a fight. However, Annabeth reveals herself, having heard everything, and Luke flees. So when Annabeth shows up, okay, so here's the thing about this. The kid that plays Luke, I could see the hurt in his eyes that Annabeth's seen what he had done. And that's a testament to the kid that plays him. Charlie Bushnell, it's a testament to his acting, because he did a really good job with his face. Like, he's just like, Annabeth? I can't do it. I'm not an actor. But his facial expressions and the way he was acting in the scene, very good. I believed that he was like, shoot, I didn't want the person in here that I care about the most, to see this. Annabeth, however, the girl that plays Annabeth, Leah Jeffries, this was her worst episode in acting, and I'll say this later on, but I didn't get that at all. She did a terrible job in this scene. So I just, because I didn't feel like her hurt. I didn't see the hurt on her face. I just was like, maybe this was the first scene you shot, because this was not your best, in my opinion. On the last day of camp, Percy leaves to reunite with Sally. Annabeth leaves to reconnect with her family, and Grover leaves to search the seas for Pan. The trio promises to reunite in a year. So again, this scene was just so like, we all know that first off, Grover getting his little, his carnation. He's like, that's my badge and everything. And I want to talk about that actor later on. But I also, them parting ways, they make the pact, they promise each other to reunite in a year or whatever, and I'm just like, well, we all know Grover's not gonna make it, right? Because he becomes, also the whole nobody searches the seas, and I'm all like, I have to go read that book again to prepare for season 2. I won't do it right away, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember him being like, I'm gonna go check the seas, guys, but it's fine, not complaining or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And so they depart, and Kronos informs Percy in a dream that he is the key to his return. So this Kronos dream, now the rest of the time, minus the one where they had the actor play from his Yancey Academy, the principal for Yancey Academy, besides that one, because that one was the weakest one, I feel like this one was weak also. I didn't get the dread. I didn't get the shadowiness of it. I just, I was just like a dude with a cloak on and on his front porch. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here, vagabond and everything. But I did, it was nice. I liked it how he's like, I'm glad you didn't die. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he said. He was like, I'm glad you didn't die, because I need you to come back. And I was like, yeah, because of the prophecy. And I don't remember in the book if they tell the prophecy at the end of this one. I don't believe they do. I think they do in the next one off the top of my head. So we'll see. But yeah, Gabe, following his divorce with Sally, opens a return package containing Medusa's head and is petrified. And that was the end of the episode. I wish this part was just very silly to me, and I just it was silly. It just was. It was just silly. I mean, it's very, it happens in the book, not exactly like this, but and then his mom Sally sells the statue off, and she makes a bunch of money and everything, and then she's like, no, I'm done with sculpting. I want to write or some crap like that. I don't remember exactly. Whatever. I'll remember. I'll know when I read the second book or whatnot, when I reread it to figure this whole thing out. So overall, okay, so this episode, and I said it before, overall was just mid. It was mid, at best, mediocre at best, you guys. I wish that they would have done it more, cinematically. I wish that they have added more in there to it. Also, it just felt rushed. Like, I understand that this is how it happens in the book. You go from the fight to, you go from the underworld to the fight to, Manhattan to Olympus to back to Half-Blood, but this just felt so rushed. Like, it was so rushed, and I think it would be more forgivable if they had more of, like I said, the fight sequences, and I'll mention it again when I talk about those fight sequences. I wish that they had done a better job with those fight sequences. Like, they did fine, but again, it was just so. Like at the end, you're just like, wah, 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 and everything. And just like, all right, move along. Nothing to see here. So I wish they had just done better with that. I really do. It was, yeah. So and again, back to the Luke stuff, I wish they would have played off more because, well, like I said before, I don't feel like they developed that relationship the best in this show. I don't know how they could have done that more. Maybe had him train with Luke more instead of having those silly, like, we're going to make you learn all this stuff, like, the fire pit and all that stuff. Maybe do that, but when, like I said before, when it's revealed that Luke is the lightning thief, I just didn't feel the hurt, from it, and I wish I would have felt the betrayal, And going to the fight sequence with Aries again was terrible. Not terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was just okay. I really wish they would have played that more up. Also with the manipulation from Kronos and the betrayal, because they tried to put it like Aries was turning against Zeus, and in the book it's more like Aries is being manipulated to betray Zeus, and he kind of has to get out of that fog. And I don't think that they did. First off, I don't think that they played it up very well. And overall, I just wish that they had done it. I just wish they had done more of the manipulation more than the, I'm turning against my dad kind of thing, because for me, it just did not work out well. While watching it, I'm just like, what's going on here? This is just like, and then he's like, do you drink? It just didn't make sense to me. I'm just like, this is just weird. Also, I want to be honest with you. The guy, the wrestler that plays the Aries, he's not the best actor, but I'll give him a chance to do it again, because here's why. I always thought John Batista, or Dave Bautista, was not the best actor starting out. But then he's grown. I think he's pretty good now. Same thing with John Cena. I don't think he started out as a very good actor, but I think he's pretty good. I think these wrestlers turn actors, I think they just need to be given more opportunities to develop their craft. So this wrestler, I'm not saying that there's no hope for him. It's just, I don't have his name here, but I do think that I didn't think he did as the best, in my opinion. All right, now moving on to the acting. I've said it before, I'll say it. Virginia Call as Sally Jackson. She's great. Now, she was only in like 2 scenes tops in here, and they were very short, but very good. And I do enjoy her. I hope she gets more work. Charlie Bushnell as Luke. So good. I mean, this wasn't the best episode for him, but overall, he did a great job. I really did enjoy him. And I'll say that Walker Scobell, Virginia Call, and then this Charlie Bushnell, best actors on the show, in my opinion. They did the best job out of everybody, especially Virginia Call. I loved her in every scene, but they did the best job. They were my favorite, acting-wise. They were my favorite characters. Toby Stephens as Poseidon did fine. He did a fine job, but he was in like tops 2 scenes in this entire series, and so yeah, he did a fine job. Lance Reddick as Zeus. He did not come off Zeus to me, and I didn't think it was the best job, and I feel bad because he is no longer with us, and I feel bad about that, but, we just have to be honest, but, may he rest in peace, and I'm glad that he got to do this. They're going to obviously have to recast Zeus if they have him in the future. It'll be interesting to see who they pick. Okay, now I want to get on to the main 3. So, Walker Scobell as Percy Jackson. Again, this, I think, was his worst acting job in this episode. I just didn't feel it, I felt like it was more, he was there, and he just wasn't present. Like, he just wasn't in the scene. Because I didn't feel like, I was just like, I felt like he was just there, like when he was on the set this day, I felt like he was just there for a paycheck. The same thing with everybody there. Like, everybody that did this whole episode, when they showed up that day, they were there for a paycheck. And I was just like, I did not care for his acting in this episode, and I just felt like it was very wooden. Okay, now on to my favorite, Grover, which is played by Aryan Simhadri. Again, terrible. He didn't have too much to do in this episode, but every time he spoke, I was like, oh my God. Like, he was all like, what did he say? He was like, are you serious? Or, hey guys, I got my cauliflower, and I'm all like, what kid? I really hope they get this kid an acting coach, and really work with him for season 2, or recast. I'd prefer recasting, but just work with him, because this was just not great. It was not great. All right, and then finally, Leah Jeffries as Annabeth. Again, character-wise, Annabeth, this is not Annabeth. I'm sorry, this is not Annabeth. This is a completely different character. It's fine, but because I do think Leah Jeffries, besides this episode, because this episode was not good acting-wise, she didn't do a great job. I wasn't feeling her on this one, but I do think she's a talented actress. I just want to say that, prior episodes, she has done a good job, but this episode, not so great. But yeah, and hopefully they remedy that in season 2 and realize, fix their mistakes. But yeah, but Leah Jeffries, I mean, yeah, especially those last 2 scenes that she's in, the one where they confront Luke, and then the one by the Annabeth or the Thalia tree, not the best acting wise, in my opinion, for this entire episode. All right, you guys, that is my breakdown and review of the season finale of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief season 1, all that good stuff. I will do a season 1 review where I'll go in depth about characters and acting. Well, more like characters and like the differences between the book and the show, just to highlight what I liked, what I didn't like, and everything. That might take me a hot minute, but I will do it, promise. But would just overall this season, out of 10, I would give it a solid 6.5. A 7. I'll give it a 7. It was a 7. Yeah. Like a 7. Like a 7.2. Yeah. But it was, yeah. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I'll talk more when I do a season finale. I've already talked too much in this video. Okay, tell me what you guys thought about this season finale. Are you like me and you just thought it was mediocre? Or did you think it was fantastic because it was so, like, book accurate? Just very, like, it was like the Wish version of the AliExpress version of the book. You know what I'm saying? But tell me what you guys thought about it. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.